Welcome to another episode of Irrational Moms coming to you from MILF Estates. It's almost summertime and we're actually really excited about that. And today, Triss was having a pre-snack before she's even started. And we were sitting here doing basically our calendar for the next month and a half. So I was like, where is that your snack? Did you just eat all your snack? But you didn't, right?
No, that was a pre-snack snack.
Pre-snack snack, yep.
I haven't eaten lunch and I was hungry.
That's okay.
Oh
I haven't eaten anything yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I had
me
a
neither.
healthy breakfast, my little acai bowl, and that was phenomenal. I would eat that for every meal if I could. And then that was just a little bit of cottage cheese with some seasoned salt on top.
I think
My
I need to go
goodness.
get an acai bowl when we're done.
Yeah,
I like the one at
so
Jamba
good.
Juice, but I have to have it with no banana. So they have to make it. You
So
can't just
what?
use the base they
What
already
is
have.
that? What is it?
It's a superfruit. It's like
Yeah.
bluish, maybe like a mix of blueberry and something else.
It kind of is like a sorbet kind of texture, right?
Yeah.
Annabelle, is that?
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's the only way I
in
can
terms
describe
of
it.
an acai bowl, it's going to be
Yeah.
they freeze it just like you would freeze blueberries or anything else, and then you puree it. And so most places have a banana mixed in there because, I mean, it helps with the texture and a bunch of other stuff. But the taste of a banana, really in anything, but in a smoothie or acai bowl, is the absolute grossest thing to me.
Oh my God, you don't like bananas?
We've talked about this.
that's
I hate
so funny.
bananas.
No, we haven't talked about this.
Yes, we have.
Have we?
Yes.
Triss, have we talked about this? I know you don't like a lot of I know you don't like crunchy peanut butter, but crunchy peanut butter on a banana would be amazing. So do you don't even go to the
actually would.
fair?
I'm
That would be
closing my
good.
computer right now. Just
So
kidding.
You don't go to the fair and get a frozen banana dipped in chocolate, which
Why
is
would I do that? That is
I don't
disgusting.
think I've ever had that.
oh
though.
my
That
God,
would be
so good.
No, bananas are
Throw
nasty.
some nuts in it on top of it and make
No.
it all crunchy, like a.
No, why would I want a crunchy banana? It's gross enough. Now it has to
when it has chocolate around it, like a hard chocolate dip.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Did you ever take a Frosty when they would do the hard dip on it, chocolate dip on it? What's that called? It's
You mean Dairy
you're talking about
Queen
Dairy
when they
Queen?
did a chocolate dipped cone?
yes.
Those are good.
Yes. Did you ever have that, Annabelle?
Yeah, on ice cream, not on a freaking nasty ass
She's like, not on
banana.
a banana.
Frozen banana.
No,
It's so good.
absolutely no. I have no problem with a hard chocolate shell. I have a problem with a banana in any form.
You know what else
And-
is good with the chocolate shell? Key lime pie dipped in that. There's a place in Lake of the Ozarks. Oh,
I don't
it's
like-
good.
Wait,
I don't like
hold
lime
up.
and
They
A whole
take
piece of
together.
pie. A whole piece of pie. You just dip
Gross.
it in that.
that sounds
It's
really good.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
not
do
for
that.
me.
I
Or
don't
you
like
know what'd
citrus
be-
and chocolate together though. So.
Or so as a banana cream pie, out.
Dude, what did I just say? That is disgusting.
Banana
Oh my God, I
in
love
general.
a good banana cream pie.
I was already feeling kind of nauseated, and now I'm just like, oh, I gotta go lay down.
I still think we should do the show where we have to eat something that we don't typically like just to try it again. That would be
Okay,
funny.
let's do that because this summer we have we're gonna have to get kind of creative because we have a lot going on. So let's.
It doesn't have to be a pimento chicken sandwich or anything.
I won't do
Annabelle.
that.
It's not. I'd try a burger with a tomato on it, although I think that's going to be absolutely just.
Oh
But
my God.
That's a normal thing people eat. Pimento is not something everybody's just out there eating all the time.
Triss, I agree with you. I don't like tomatoes on sandwiches or a
Yeah.
hamburger because if it sits too long, it gets the bun all soggy.
Yeah, I don't like the bun.
Yeah,
to
but
get
pickles
soggy.
make the bun soggy too.
But
Yeah,
pickles
so
are
you
crunchy.
take a bite and you eat a pickle separately, so it's like a fresh bite. It's like cereal. You can eat cereal and then drink milk and shake your face up, and it's like a fresh bite.
Seriously?
Every
All right,
time.
that's what we need for snack of the week next week. Okay. That's
Okay,
what
wait,
we
hold
need
on.
you
What do you
doing
mean? You
next
take
week.
the cereal out of just you're eating it raw,
You just-
and then you just
You put a little milk in there, and it's like
In a
the
cup.
freshest bite you're ever gonna get.
No, in her
every
mouth.
time.
She's making the cereal in her mouth.
Yeah, I'm
you
making a
don't
bowl of
just
cereal in my
drink
mouth.
the milk out of the bowl like normal people do.
No, she wants the
No, I
freshest
don't
bite
want
possible.
Yeah, I don't want soggy.
Do you know there
cereal.
was a thing
Like that.
on Amazon where you could actually it was like a cereal cup.
They have those. I almost got one, but I was like, I haven't been eating cereal because it's really bad for you. So if cereal was here, I will eat it, and it doesn't
Ooh,
work
what's
out
your
well.
favorite time? What's your favorite kind, Triss?
I like a lot. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted Mini Wheats.
Ooh.
Actually,
Ooh, frosted mini
there's
wheats
like
are
a
good.
like a
Frosted good.
strawberry Cheerio one, or actually the multigrain Cheerio is really good too. That one's probably the least bad for
I like
you,
Honey
maybe.
Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, those are good.
I like
That's
Lucky
okay.
Charms.
That one, those are too sweet for me.
Those are
No.
really good, but I know
Yeah.
how bad those marshmallows are.
So good. I love it. Crunchy.
I'm trying to find a balance. I'm talking about all these bad things, and I get to my snack of the week. It's not really healthy.
But then I also like grape nuts with a bunch of sugar.
Grape nuts is that like chewing gravel. I don't know why you want to eat that. But
Or you can
like
mix. It's
grape
like,
nuts.
well, it's almost
Broken
like
teeth.
granola, right? It's like
no, it's
very-
nothing like granola. Actually, it's literally like chewing rocks. It's so hard that my teeth hurt. You got to let it sit in a bowl for 3 hours to soften.
Might as well just have oatmeal then, I guess.
Exactly. I like
So
Raisin Bran. Like I like healthy-ish cereals. I just don't like the
Raisin Bran has a
Bran's-
lot of sugar on it too.
Raisin
like
Bran is none
I
of them
know.
are good for you, really.
But no, they're not. But the ones with the artificial sweetener, I mean the artificial colors that are like an artificial flavors,
Yeah.
like the Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops. Those
Fruit
to me
Loops,
are.
yeah.
I feel like I'm going to get a migraine from all the artificial stuff in there. Like at least the
Yeah.
other one's just like sugar.
What
No,
about
it's not
Cinnamon
good
Toast
for you.
Crunch? Cinnamon Toast
I love
Crunch?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I'm not
Cinnamon
going to
Toast
eat
Crunch,
it
but it's
because
so bad.
yeah, like I'll
But
eat
it's
one
so
bite
good.
and that's enough sugar for a week. But it's good.
I have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch like powder, so you put it on like toast and stuff.
I got that for French toast.
Yeah, it's good
But
stuff.
can't you just make that sugar and
Yeah.
like cinnamon together?
Yeah,
I don't think
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but
one of the kids just grabbed it somewhere, and I was like, oh, I guess I can try to use this for French toast.
Oh, okay. So, Tris, what do you have then? What's your
Okay.
third snack? Since we're like you're kind of on a Hobbit meal today, Hobbit schedule.
yeah.
She always
So-
has like 3 breakfasts. There's like early pre-breakfast.
Have you guys seen the Hobbit movies? Right? Like Lord of the
No,
Rings.
but I
where
know
it's like,
about like 11s and all the extra.
Yeah.
You know the
Yeah.
I
Third
mean,
breakfast.
especially
yeah.
like on days that I go to the gym, which today I went to the gym, like I will eat extra, like a lot of extra. So, okay, so I actually went to the fudge shop twice this weekend. I went on Friday to one, and then I went to dinner last night. We were like, oh, there's a different one over here. So we, of course, have to go see what they have.
What's the
It's
fudge
check
shop?
it
It's
out.
like a candy store.
Yeah, like fudge. It's got like ice cream and fudge shop, and they make like little truffles and like more fresh
Okay,
stuff.
nice.
But anyway, so I got. Well, I have in here a couple of things. I have some. They're like caramel and sea salt dipped in chocolate kind of.
Hey, show us on the
situation.
camera because I can't see it.
I know I have
It's
to
hidden
like
in the
block my
box.
light so I can see what snack
Here's
you've got.
here's the sea salt and
Oh.
caramel one.
Yum.
But then
That's
I
good.
wanted to try this because I've already had one of the sea salt and caramel. But this is just like one of their fresh marshmallows dipped in chocolate.
Oh yeah,
I
like
wanna
a rocky
try
road.
it. I guess
Sort of.
so. don't
I
know.
love making homemade marshmallows.
I want to try it though.
Oh, can you do that
Just
next
bounce 'em.
time and show me how to make
Ooh.
that?
Yeah,
Ooh, that looks
Yum.
good.
Oh,
Yum.
good.
they're really
Yeah.
easy, but
I'm about it.
nice.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I did buy some more candy yesterday at the grocery store.
Did
I'm gonna
you
try
put
not to
your-
eat it.
That you're
what
not going to
kind?
throw away.
More M&Ms?
More M&Ms, peanut M&Ms. Yeah, I'm gonna really try not to hit the
I want
peanut
to order
M&Ms.
some of the M&Ms and the candy and stuff from like the UK and Italy. I have a website actually that's like a grocery store in Italy because like the ketchup and all that other stuff, it doesn't have the same ingredients in there that you get here. Like the Nutella, it's a lot more of the hazelnut flavor.
Yeah.
And it's not quite as sweet, but they don't add all the crap to it.
Oh, I love European Nutella. It's way better.
Yeah. So I'm gonna place
So,
an order and get
Can't
some
you
stuff.
find a store here that does that? Like a
Not
I
really.
don't
You can
know.
make your
International
own. Like
store?
in the restaurant, I make my own Nutella when I'm
I've
doing a
had-
dessert with it.
Maybe like an international store. I didn't think about that, but I'd have to find one.
I wonder if those places that have tons of crap, like World Market or something, has it. You know how they have
Yeah.
like just randomly 3 aisles of random snacks from all over.
Yeah.
But I've never noticed it anywhere. I prefer just to make it. Then you can make it however sweet you want.
you can make your
Yeah.
own Nutella.
Well,
If I'm working
gonna
in a
have to just
restaurant
send me
where
some,
everything
yeah.
I make is from scratch, I'm going to make that too. You know.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, I'm trying to pick and choose where I could be healthier, and
Yeah.
I don't know, because I do, obviously I go to the fudge shop twice in the weekend. So, and then I didn't get ice cream only because they have a really good, it's like cake batter ice cream with little pieces of vanilla cake in it. It's so good. And I didn't get any because I have like 6 containers of ice cream in the freezer right now. So, but some of them are Halo. Those have protein. They're like the low calorie protein ice
Oh
cream.
yeah.
I do not know how you do it. I just am I'm in awe. That's all. I mean, more power to you,
Yeah.
Tris, because
I love
I'd
it
probably
for you.
hit more goals if I didn't eat so bad. But I mean, who wants to live that life? I don't know. I
Right.
need balance.
Yep.
Yes.
Work out so I can eat bad.
Hey, I agree with you on that one. I agree. Okay, so Tris, do you want to tell us about your car experience this weekend?
Oh,
And the outfit
well,
that you wore to the dealership, and that you probably hopefully they gave you a ton of money off, because I mean they had to be just like, what would you like, madam? And I want to know. Sorry, but did the guy, like when you went for a test drive, did he sit next to you, or did he sit behind your boyfriend where he could like look at you like this as you're driving? Because
Right.
he was
Did
like,
he relegate
yeah.
your boyfriend to the back or what?
So no, I didn't get any. Well, I got a little bit off because I'm financing through BMW again. So it's like a promotion they have, not because they give me anything extra. But I think they don't really like wheel and deal. Like they don't bargain with you when you're ordering it brand new, because there's not.
No.
There's not a lot of room.
BMW is not making a deal, period. It's the price is the price. It sells itself.
Exactly.
The salesmen don't even have to try.
I mean, the only thing
Exactly.
you can deal on is your interest rate and your payments.
Right. But I don't have a ton of miles on my car. So even though that last one was a lease, I actually have equity in that. I don't know how often that even happens, but I had like $4,000 equity in my
That's amazing.
BMW, because I only, over 3 years, I only put like 18,000 miles on it. And that's
God.
literally because like when I was having to move, and then I was like traveling around in between just to like kill time. And I probably
That's
put like
wild. I do that in a year.
miles. Yeah, no, I'm like to the gym, not even to the grocery store. Half the time I'm ordering Instacart. Like my appointments, I go to my appointments, and then that's like where I drive to.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I'm so excited because this is the first I'm financing, because I don't want to pay all this money on a car and then have to give it back. I'm not rough on my vehicles. Obviously, I don't put very much miles on them. So I ordered a 25 BMW 430i. So the same thing that I have now, only mine's 21. So I ordered a 25, and I got basically like the M Sport package on it. So
that's what I have.
Yeah, it was a little extra, but it looks sportier.
It's way better, but you're not paying like 20,000 more for the M series.
Exactly.
I don't need my car to go faster. Honestly, I drive too fast as it is.
Because the engine in this one, it's only 4-cylinder, but it is a turbo. So it's still 0 to 60 in like 5.5 seconds or something.
Yeah.
So it still has way more power than I really need. And I got the Tacora red on the inside. So that is different. It's like same, but different. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. It's going to be so pretty.
It's going to be nice. I'm excited. I think it's not going to get here until like the first week in July. So.
Are they released yet, or no?
I think they have maybe started making some 25s. A lot of them are like in production and they're getting sent.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I bought my 24 last year in May, and it was barely just out. But it was weird because I didn't realize they were out. So when I went to the dealership, they had 23s and 24s, and the 24 was literally like $3,000 more than the 23, like hardly anything. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll get the newer one. I mean, why not?
Right. There's no reason. When I went to a different dealership, they kept trying to push me into a 24 that was already made, not the color that I wanted. It was just like, I'm very much like, if it feels right. Like I didn't even test drive my first BMW because I already knew I wanted it. I manifested it. It was exactly the color that I wrote down, the rims and everything. And so I just made it easy for the salesperson. I just walked in and said, I need to order a new car. I had already built it online, so he just had to go through and like click all the stuff that I wanted. So
that's great.
Yeah, so that was fun. But they were cool. Like they were very chill, not pushy salespeople, and they were older. I don't know. I don't know that they were looking at me, but I mean, I don't like to wear
Right.
bras.
They
because,
definitely were not because they were a little
Well,
older.
No,
I know, right?
I sent you guys this thing. Okay. The tatas were not meant to be supported and held up. Like, I don't wear bras as much, and they're just as perky.
You mean
Do a
never?
little
You were never
boob
wear a bra.
massage.
Your boyfriend sent
I
us the photos. And
I wear bralettes sometimes. Those are kind
As
of
a top.
Right.
It's true.
Right. That's your shirt you're wearing.
It's true. Yeah. This is very true.
Well, hey,
Oh my gosh.
you got it, flaunt it, because,
Yeah, we're not hating. That's awesome.
No, I think it's good. Do it.
Like that dress that I wore yesterday when we were on here, it's like in the right lighting, you can kind of see a little more. And my boyfriend's always just like, I don't have a problem with it.
Of
Just
course, he
like-
has no problem with it.
Okay.
Most men don't.
Right. What kind of problem could he possibly have with it?
If a man has a problem with it, we need to check your man card out the door.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be respectful of other people, but also everybody's got
Really?
a problem
Why?
with everything. So
Yes.
yeah.
It's not disrespectful to just be out and about.
But you know
something.
how women are. They're like,
Oh, I know how
this
women
girl,
are.
I cannot.
Oh, yeah.
believe that she wore that out.
It's because they're just jealous. They're just
you
jealous.
can see an outline
Yes.
of.
Well, I'm
Right?
surprised. I see women talking online sometimes about things, and I am shocked at how many women will be like offended because someone has on like a low cut shirt, or they're like, "That's just disrespectful to your husband," or whatever. Like, women are such. I'm like, how do you guys care this much about what someone else is wearing?
Right.
It is bizarre to me.
Respect your husband how you want to respect him, and I'll live my life how I
Right?
want.
How is it disrespectful to the husband just because you're wearing a low cut shirt? Like, what?
No,
what
I
is
think it's respectful. I think it's respectful to your husband because he's going to be like, yeah.
Right? I never got that because, like, you don't know what other people's dynamics are. Like,
Exactly.
my
And why are
boyfriend
you
is
so
really
offended on
supportive,
behalf
like-
of someone else?
Exactly. Like, he thinks it's
our
sexy
society.
and confidence. And
It is. I follow this one housewife, and I really like her. And she gets so much hate online. And she was in Vegas over the weekend with like her personal trainer. And they did a little reel. And all of a sudden, like, they're in their gym clothes. And then, bam, they're in their night clothes. They go out dancing. And they had short dresses on. And all the comments were like, that's so inappropriate. You're like older. You should not be wearing a
For
short dress. And I'm
Vegas
like,
to go dancing? What?
yeah. And I'm like, number one, I'm like, why the F do you even care what this woman's doing? I'm like,
Right.
if she has it, flaunt it. I'm like, and she's lost like a lot of weight. She looks wonderful.
yeah.
And it's like, and she's also like a normal built person. She's not like too skinny. She's just built like a normal person. And to me, I'm like, hey, she feels pretty. She feels gorgeous and she's done all this work. Why not just like support her and make her and bring her up? But no, us women, we like to hate on other women because these women are jealous because they sit at home in their sweats eating like, I don't know, bag of potato chips. And it's like, sorry that your husband's looking at her. And if you don't like that, then stop wearing your like moo and your big ass, like
your moo.
You're like, big clothes that make you look like you're even bigger than you are. And if you don't like it, then do
Right.
something about it.
Right.
But stop like hating on other women for like them wanting to make themselves feel good. Because at this time in our life, make yourself feel good.
Little did they know we
who
would have so
cares?
much in common. I mean, I'm in sweats eating potato chips like half the week. So I just do it with the crop top on. So you balance. You wear something baggy with something sexy and it works out.
Or just get a pair of Lululemon leggings and then it doesn't matter what you wear on top. People are like, okay. But they literally think that's like, oh, you're in a 2-piece bikini and you're a mom.
Oh my gosh.
It just shocks me when women have such antiquated thoughts or values.
Right? Like a cheeky bottom, really, what is the difference between a very cheeky bottom and a thong? I mean, you're still, almost all of your butt is out. So I don't.
Or even a regular bikini bottom. It's still, we still see the outline of your body.
It looks like you're in underwear, like no matter what kind of swimsuit you
But
get.
if you're wearing leggings, and most of these moms wear leggings when they go to pick up their kids at school. I mean, do you not see that? I see everything in your leggings. Right. I'm like, but oh, God forbid if someone's wearing something else that you deem inappropriate. Yeah. So I don't know. Women are crazy. Just stop hating on other women. Just love yourself. Stay in your lane. Nice?
I'm worried if you don't like something, so what? Just move on from it. You don't have to consume everything that's out there.
Right?
Just move on.
It's
Keep
very
scrolling.
They can't
I
do
don't
that
know.
though. It's an insecurity within themselves. So there's like, I gotta lash out on somebody else, take out my frustrations with my own life because I'm not happy with my life. That's what it is.
Right.
Like I'm gonna take out like the hate I have within myself on somebody else. And people, and us women see it. We see how much you hate yourself when you project that hate onto us.
Right, because how do you have the
This is
energy
true.
for someone else? Like, I don't have enough energy to put into anyone else like that. Like, I got to get my own self through the day, raise my own family, manage my own self. I don't have energy, a bunch of negative energy to be giving out to someone else. Like, I don't have it. I'm tired.
Right? Yeah, if I don't like something or somebody, I am not going to say anything because I'm like, that's just it's a waste of my energy. It messes up my aura or my peaceful
I think
my
yes,
peace,
exactly.
Yeah.
my serenity. I guess
Your
not aura, but
aura.
my serenity, right? And I
Exactly.
don't want any of that. I mean,
No,
I like
it is
just
your
living
aura.
a
That's
nice.
like the
We don't need
eighth
those negative
chakra
vibes.
is
Yeah.
your aura. That is what draws people to you. But no, I I agree. It's like there's this old saying that like if somebody tries to give you a gift and you don't accept it, then who does that gift belong to? It still belongs to them. So like people doing that, it's just like they want you to take on that negative energy. So if you just don't accept it, then the only person that has it is them. So
That is a very good way to think about that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it too.
yeah.
like
And
it
I
too.
do believe that fully. Like, that was one of the things when I was like upset after my divorce of my ex-husband. I was like, well, if I'm upset, this doesn't affect him at all. It only
Yeah.
affects me. So I just have to stop being upset because this is silly. And then I was. It was weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you can make a choice on how you want to live your life, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
So you can sit there and you can be upset and you can be miserable, or you can just turn the corner and be like, hey, I'm just going to be happy, or I'm going to be content.
I'm just not going to care about that thing anymore because that sucks. Like, things that don't serve you, you can just leave them.
And life sucks for the most part. But it's how you deal with it, right? There's a,
Mhm.
how do you want to deal with it? Do you want to sit there and get stuck in that whole like just discontent and angry at things, or do you want to just be like, oh well, that's how it is, and I'm gonna just keep going forward?
Well, some people
But
really
this is
do want to be
why-
angry.
Yeah, like the people that are negative, and there's like a lot of scientific studies around this, but when you're negative, it just continues to be something negative and it snowballs. And then you know these people. I know people that I can't even really be around because there's so much negative. Like everything they
Yeah.
do, their food at the restaurant is always wrong.
Right.
And like, what are the odds that your food is always wrong and my food is always right? Like,
Right?
you
Yeah.
are bringing this energy to you. You're bringing this negativity to you. Sometimes you have to just be like, well, my food did come out in a timely manner. Like you have to find something good
Yeah.
in whatever you're thinking is bad. Because
You should be like a self-help speaker or something.
man, I wish I knew enough about. I'm still learning. Like I have so many books that I'm listening to, and I continue to listen to because they're good.
Just do little mini
reminders,
TED
but-
Talks on how to be
Yeah.
more peaceful and have better vibes.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. It's not easy, but I think if you work at it, like sometimes I get angry in the car and I'm like, why am I even angry right now? Like I have nowhere that I have to be there at a certain time. Like I'm just need to be appreciative of the moment. Like there's not really any reason to get upset. So yeah, it takes work.
I think it's
So-
good.
All right. I think we need to transition to our post draft analysis. Yay!
I can't even tell what you're wearing because
Oh, it says AFC
Chiefs
champions. Yes. Chiefs are all in.
My lights
and,
and my
you know,
eyes.
I know. Our producer is shaking his head. You know what? I almost bought you the same one for the Niners, but I didn't want to rub it in. You know, at least I'm not having a Super Bowl championship. Top on.
That's true. She didn't wear the.
That is true. AFC Championship does not bother me, but a Super Bowl one would have bothered me. For sure.
Look how nice she is.
I did buy the same one for one of my sons, and he refused to wear it because he's like, "No, I want the Niners to win." And I'm like, "Are we?" I mean, I might have to disown you.
Which
for a while.
one?
My oldest one.
Really?
He wanted the Niners to beat the Chiefs. Yeah,
I like that kid.
That's funny.
because he's like, "Oh, I feel bad for the Niners because they can't beat the Chiefs." Sorry.
Okay, I take it back.
And then
I
she
take
had
it
to,
back.
and then she just had to say that right there.
I take it back. Such a Chiefs fan thing to say after everything.
Right? Like the pity. If it happens again, just give him the pity win. That's what he's advocating, basically.
The one thing I think we should do is figure out how do we do a fantasy football league.
No.
Yes.
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 We should do that.
We should do a Irrational Moms or MILF Estates, football league.
I'm not
I think
doing
it'd be
it.
fun. Why?
I'm going to do it based on how
I
cute
hate
they
fantasy
are.
football.
And that's it.
Okay. This is
Because
just for...
it
Go ahead.
yeah, you guys run it. I can't do it. It's too much. I don't like it. I like to focus on enjoying my team and the games rather than worrying about random players and their specific stats for a game and all kinds of stuff.
You don't have to
like
worry
that.
about it. It's just for fun. It's not
just
like
for
there's
fun.
money involved.
This is what I don't get about
You don't even
people
have to-
who have such a hard time with fantasy football. It's not that big of a deal. If you don't want to look at it during the day, don't look at it. Just set your team.
And the
once a
thing
week.
is, yes, and all you have
Just
to do is like,
participate.
yes.
Yeah, but
and
I don't
just-
enjoy that. So that's why I don't want
But
to do
this is
it.
the strange thing is that you are the biggest football fan I think I know, and you
Yeah.
would love this.
No, I wouldn't. I know about it. Like my kid talks about it all the time. Everyone around me talks about fantasy football all the effing time. And I hate hearing it. I'm like, I don't care about your fantasy football team. Don't be mad at some player for doing well because it hurt your fantasy team.
I don't take it that serious, right?
No,
it's
you don't.
fun. It's fun. And then there's times where I'll just totally forget to switch my players out because someone's on a bye, and then I'm like, oh dang it, I just lost this week because I don't have enough points because my tight end is out.
I just don't want anything else to have to manage or think about. It takes away the fun for me of enjoying football if I have to focus on something like that, because that is all make-believe anyway. So it's it's a whole
fantasy.
made-up thing. Right. So I don't enjoy fantasy books, fantasy anything. So it kind of makes sense with my personality that I don't enjoy it.
Okay, well, we will try to figure
Y'all do
out
it and have
something.
fun.
Yes. And maybe we'll figure out, producer Matt, how we can somehow open it up to some of our fans and be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would
Yeah, we
be
could
I mean,
do
you can do a
daily
fantasy football league.
I think daily fantasy might be the better bet because then people can drop off throughout the season if they want to. They could play weekly if they want to.
Okay.
But I think Annabelle, we will not have a spot for you in the league because you hate it so much.
No, I don't want anything to do with it.
I don't get it. I don't get it, but I'll just be quiet because I'll never get it.
Why don't you then come up with a good prize for the winner?
I can do that.
Okay. Yeah,
you
we
could
can
just
think
be
about
the
that.
commissioner of the North League. Is that?
Yeah,
a
she could
thing?
do. Yeah.
I bake the halftime treats. That's what I do.
Exactly.
I can give play-by-play analysis, but I'm not participating in the fantasy side. I don't know. It stresses me out. I don't want to think about that. I want to enjoy the game for what it is.
Football is stressful. Just watching the Dolphins, and I could just feel my heart racing, and I'm like, why this doesn't affect me? It doesn't change my life in any way, but it makes me so upset.
I don't know if 99% know, but I'm just saying that's one of the things that I've seen very loudly that is a turnoff. And I don't enjoy having to think about and having to keep up with statistics and think about facts about other players that aren't my team. It's just, I can only hold so much in my head. I don't want to have to be, my head's chaotic anyway. I don't want all that more chaos.
Well, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. You don't have to play. Okay, so going back to the draft, I mean, Annabelle and I were texting each other on it was Thursday night, right? Yeah.
Started
Thursday,
on
Friday,
Thursday.
Saturday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were some things that happened. We're like, how the heck did this happen? First off, let's talk about, what do you want to talk about first? What was your most memorable thing about the draft?
Well, I was surprised that 6 quarterbacks went in the first 12 picks. That was absolutely insane. That was shocking. I think the fact that the Falcons, the most shocking thing was that the Falcons drafted Michael Penix. And I don't mean any hate towards him. He was my 3rd favorite quarterback in the draft. Got no problems with him. But you signed Kirk Cousins to a $1 billion deal, not billion, whatever, 180 million or something. And then you immediately draft someone high, use the 8th round pick. To me, first of all, it says the Falcons are completely unserious and not going to try to win anything because this is just the kind of things they do. And they didn't even tell Kirk Cousins didn't even know they were doing it until they were on the clock. They called his agent and said, we're taking a quarterback at 8. That is nuts. Like,
But
absolutely
won't
nuts.
sometimes it's more difficult, no, if they just go in and they're starting as a,
Yeah, the
fresh
idea is
meat.
that he'll
Do
sit
they not need
behind
to learn a
Kirk
little?
for a
Yeah.
couple years, maybe like Jordan Love, except they signed Kirk to a 4-year contract. Now, only 2 years are guaranteed. So in my mind, what that says is they plan on Kirk being the quarterback for 2 years and then moving on. That's what it says to me. So, I mean, he is getting on up there. And so that does make sense. But the fact, I think, that they didn't tell Kirk that it was happening.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
And that they used a number 8 pick. But it sounds to me like Raheem Morris just really likes Kirk. I mean, Michael Penix Jr., I think they liked him, but it's wild. I mean, but it ended up being great for a lot of other teams because players fell that, they might not have had a hope of getting until after that. So
Well,
I think that was like the most, I guess, memorable parts.
That was a surprise. It was a surprise. I mean, I agree with you. It was a surprise to know that they didn't even let Kirk Cousins know like what was going on. But I was watching some of the analysis with your daddy Nick, Tris, because it was really interesting because you could go on to different channels, right? And you could see different analysis by different commentators. Yeah. And he was on there, and I really liked listening to him because from a college football perspective, which I don't really understand. Yeah. I don't watch enough of it, but because he's there and, his players are getting picked up and he knows all these players because he's been around for, years. And he was like, no, this is a good reason because of like X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds okay. I see where he's coming from, but he's also coming from a college, coach perspective of like, I want my players to like, make it into the NFL too. But,
he also admitted to tampering sort of in his commentary.
Well, also going back to Kirk Cousins, like the thing about him, and this whole pick, it's like he's coming off an injury too. So who knows like what is going to happen, right?
Right,
so,
but Michael Penix can't be quarterback right now, probably. So it doesn't even help if Kirk's not ready. The way I look at it.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it is. I would have been, if I was him, I would have been a little bit upset. Like, hey, but also, I'm not going to be upset that I have $100 million guarantee for the next 2 years either.
Like,
yeah, he's going to have made one of the most high amounts of any NFL player ever by the time his career's over. So,
yeah,
right.
I don't think I think more it's just like, maybe more of like, it's just disrespectful. Kind of like, you just couldn't tell me your plans. Like, I think that's weird. Like, you should be very transparent. We're signing you to this deal. We plan on you being our starting quarterback for 2 years for sure. We're going to pick somebody to sit behind you and work with you. And then, we'll transition. Yeah. But like the Falcons, I think the GM was like, yeah, I mean, if we've got Penix sitting for 4 or 5 years before he starts, then we're in a really good shape. And it's like,
it's a lot. It's too long of a time.
No, that's weird. Like, why would you use all of his cheap rookie contract on sitting and then you just have to pay him a ton of money? I mean, that's ridiculous. And that's where I kind of felt like, God, the Falcons are still a disaster. So I've never been a fan of them. They're always doing ridiculous stuff.
Well, we'll see what happens this year. Okay, but what about in the draft towards the end of round 1, the Bills traded with the Chiefs, and the Chiefs got to pick up Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
That was ridiculous. It's like, wow, the Bills can't ever beat the Chiefs, and now they're going to be like, oh, here, we know you want this really good wide receiver. We definitely don't want him, so go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of don't understand like why that really happened. I mean, do you have a better perspective?
Well, I think the Bills wanted someone different for their team, and so they knew that the Chiefs weren't going to pick him, so they were willing to trade. And the Bills also, they have a huge cap hit from like what's his name, Diggs, and they need picks and they need players. I think so. Them trading back is going to give them more picks.
Well, I didn't know that after they traded, they ended up trading again with the Panthers, right? And so it dropped them even lower on the second
because
round.
They want picks. And if they know they can get, and I get that, if they know they can get who they want, then why not? But to me, Xavier Worthy just seems like a guy like, who doesn't want that guy?
Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that no one picked him up prior to that, but whatever. I mean, we'll
how many receivers were taken before him? Like 2, maybe?
I don't remember. I mean, it's just the one. Okay, this is the one thing I don't like about that first round. It takes why is it like a 10-minute wait?
Forever.
And then it goes to like 5, and then it
Because
goes
they're
to
trying
3.
to, for the television. It's for the
I know
television.
that. I know, but it's just like, come on, man. It's like for us sitting at home, it's like it's so boring. It's
That's
like
why
a
we had it-
4-hour
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, but if you put it on, like we had it on the, what's the app called? Reel, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which gives you the instant, it's like the quickest sports updates of anything. Like they come faster than ESPN or any other app. So we were just watching it on there. Well, we had the draft on, but then we also had that running. So
this is why Legacy TV is dying. I was at the gym on Thursday, like one of my kids wrestles. So I'm sitting there like on the treadmill watching it, right? And they have no closed caption. So I'm having to like look to see like what's going on. So ESPN's playing on the right side. They're a whole 5 seconds faster than linear television, CBS, that was like doing the draft. And I was like, this is why linear television, you're dying, because there's a delay. No one, if you're in sports, wants to watch a delay. I want real time because it's going to be dinging on my, when I watch, when I play fantasy football, it's going to ding at me and be like, oh, the Chiefs just scored.
Right.
And I'm like, what? Or they turned over the ball.
I know. I have to turn off my notifications when I'm like wanting to watch a game versus, because I hate when that you get updates and you're like, but I'm watching.
Oh, what are you talking about? You're the one who will text us at the house like, oh, did you see that play? And then
I don't know you haven't. Yeah, but I saw it on TV. It's not like I'm doing it because my app updated me. My TV just happened to be faster one day. I mean, I don't know that.
She's done that, but I know.
I'm saying but it's not because I'm watching on an app and trying to like beat the TV. It's because my TV's just ahead for some reason. I mean, even in my own house, like in the living room, we have 3 TVs, like a sports bar set up. And then in my bedroom, so you can have my bedroom TV and they could all be on the same thing and all at different points. Like they're never, all exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I know, but Triss, there's been multiple times she's been texting us and she's like, oh, well, it's whatever game's on, like Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. She's like, did you, I can't believe they like turned over that ball. And I'm like,
what the that?
They haven't turned over the ball yet.
I don't know. Why's your TV so slow? I didn't know.
It's on YouTube. I don't know.
Do you guys understand why the draft is such a big deal?
No, I mean, as someone who follows college football, I like watching it because, my school is good and they're going to have players drafted. So I'm always interested to see where they're going. So, I mean, I like it in that regard. And I'm interested then in who the Rams pick and whatever else. But it is strange that it's like such a, I don't know, maybe it's not strange. I mean, people love football and people haven't had football for a while. So they're just dying for any football content is what I think.
And it's always kind of been big though, right? Even before 2020.
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
Definitely.
And like all the fans go and they're like all geared out and stuff just to watch people get drafted. I don't know.
Well, and for me, it's like, what if your team doesn't even have a pick in the first round and you're wearing team gear at the draft? Like, someone's not paying you for that? Like, why are you doing that?
I can't remember who was it, Matt. Like, there was a team, and maybe it was the Patriots, and then the pick came in, and they're like, boo! And I'm like, I don't remember who it was, but I'm like, and they showed them, and they're like basically like, who's this player? And then they're booing, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. And I'm like,
I think I can't remember, man, way back when there was a player that was taken and the Jets fans just booed him mercilessly, relentlessly.
It was terrible.
And it's like, this is how you're getting into the NFL, is your fans hate you as soon as you're drafted.
I know, that's horrible.
It stinks. It does.
It seems like a New York Yankees type thing to do. So Patriots, I guess that tracks the same general vibe.
I mean, I don't know I can't remember if it was the Patriots or not.
I can't remember either.
There was a team that did, or there were, fans that were doing that. And I'm like, that's so embarrassing, especially if the guy's going to come up on stage too, right?
Well, and how are you booing players before they've even played for your team? Like, I don't like booing your own players anyway. I mean, that's been a topic of discussion, say, with the Padres for a while because they've been doing some really bad stuff. And people are like, you know what? We're finally going to boo our players. Don't love it. But booing somebody before they even played, like, that's terrible. Like, you're an a-hole fan if you're booing them and they haven't even put on a jersey yet.
Right.
Unless it was like someone they hated maybe that somebody drafted. But, like, why would you – most people don't hate college players yet, because most of those fans don't even know who these people are really outside of the first round. I would bet they don't know a lot about the players.
I also think about Michael Penix Jr. in this way because he was taken 8th overall. people are like blaming him for being taken 8th overall.
Right.
It's not his fault that the Falcons decided to select him high in the draft. Like, was he going to say no? I want to go lower in the draft. So I feel bad for him in that way because people are crushing him for being taken. And it's
right, you think that's what he
fault.
wants to be doing right now?
No, he wants to be working. He says all the right things. He seems like a good dude, and people are just crushing him. And don't get me started on the people on the social media these days with sports, because some of these sports takes are some of the worst sports takes I've ever heard. And they're not even like takes. They're just opinions that are based on falsities and lies.
Nothing.
Right. Like, how did you come to this conclusion? You don't have any facts in here. It's based on like absolutely nothing. It's really strange. But then you also have, you have people, everybody and their dads out here trying to be like a sports writer and a sports blogger. And so a lot of those people just steal content from other people, or they like regurgitate half of what someone says, or they'll be like, I've graded our team's draft and everyone got an A. It's like,
like no, I was looking at that on the NFL today. They were like, we're grading every single team. And I'm like, everyone pretty much like scored fine. I'm like, I think there was one person that scored like a C.
Falcons got a C. But again, not Michael Penix's fault. He's actually a good quarterback. He seems like a good dude. Like, he has nothing to do with that. Do you know what I mean? I bet guys, even if it's not realistic, they want to go somewhere they can play pretty soon. Not necessarily go somewhere where they know they're not going to play for 2 years. Now, maybe they need to be developed. I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying, like, this is not ideal in a player's mind either. Now, if we're getting
into the nitty gritty of why it's such a big deal between Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr., it's because they pick someone who's not going to see the field for years, and they're already paying their quarterback a lot of money. And he's also they're able to get out of the contract after 2 years. And so he's like, wait, are you just going to replace me?
Exactly.
Did you draft my replacement?
Yes.
I came to this team thinking I was going to be here long term.
Yep.
I feel like
and that's
they
why
did a lot more damage than they did.
Yes. And that's why I said that about, I think Kirk's going to play, their plan is for him to play 2 years and then Penix take over, because it's only $100 million guaranteed and they can get out after 2 years. That's why I said that, because that's my belief. And so if that's the case, it's not that bad for Penix. It still doesn't make financial sense for the Falcons. And for Kirk, I mean, I get, but the Falcons basically treated Matt Ryan terribly when they got rid of him. And then they were a disaster without him. And now it's like they still think they're going to do what the Rams did in bringing in Matthew Stafford. They're going to bring in an old guy who's going to come in and win them a Super Bowl immediately. And I just don't think that's realistic. I mean, Matthew Stafford doing it with the Rams, I mean, yes, he's an amazing quarterback and I love him, but that's a rare thing. You know what I mean? That's like, has to be the perfect set of circumstances lead to that. That's not just like, oh, we're going to get a proven guy and bring him here and we're going to win.
It's not just the quarterback either. I mean, it's like, how is their defense and their offensive line? So if they're putting all their money into another quarterback, then it's like, well, I mean, I haven't followed the Falcons enough to know, like,
it's not
how the rest of their team is, like how their defense is and how their offense is.
That's the thing. They could have used different weapons at pick 8 in the draft than getting a quarterback when they just paid someone $100 million. That's crazy. Exactly. Like, you can get a future Hall of Fame person in pick number 8. So I don't know. Seems ridiculous.
I don't know. We'll just see what happens on that one. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about? Jerry Rice's son, because he went 6th round, 7th round. They ended up picking him.
I don't
7th
remember.
round. He got drafted 7th round, number 225th to the Chargers.
Yeah, I think he's a USC guy, I believe.
He is. He did. He played with Caleb Williams.
But there was a lot of sons being drafted this time around, or at least in the draft this time around. And I know Frank Gore was really mad because his son didn't get drafted at all, which his son actually ended up signing with the Buffalo Bills after. But my question is, like, do some of these teams look at these guys and maybe they're not the best? They don't have the best numbers, but it's Jerry Rice's son. Like, do you think that they think about that whenever they go and pick these guys? Because I do. I think they would.
Sure. I think that's going to make the fact that you had a famous, great player as a father, it might make somebody more likely to draft you, but it can also make someone less likely to draft you if they didn't like your dad or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know that much about Frank Gore's son to know if him being undrafted was like actually what should have happened. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of great guys. I mean, there's tons of guys that don't get drafted that easily could have, right? And it's nothing personal. You know, there's like, I think 8 more Georgia guys that got signed right away that weren't drafted or something like that. And, you know, all of them could have easily been drafted. It depends on the teams and their needs and how things fall, you know?
I almost think it could work against you.
That's why I was saying,
because the sense of just like not knowing like if they like their father or not, or like what kind of history they have there, but the fact it's like, can you live up to that? And that's such a high expectation to live up to like your father's like legacy. It would be so hard, and I just think it could just be a negative against you.
Well, and if the player is like clearly star caliber, like say Marvin Harrison Jr., people are, you know, his dad also played, like, well, yeah, he's clearly exceptional, so he's going to get drafted high. He was what, 4th, I think? Is Marvin Harrison Jr. 4th?
He was 4th.
Yeah. But then other guys aren't. Other guys are more like regular, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It might be, you maybe could compare it to like LeBron and Bronny. No hate to Bronny at all. I think people hating on a college kid is insane. But he's not immediately his father, right? So he has huge shoes to fill. And so some people are like, he ain't going to do it. And some people want him anyway because they want what comes with it with the famous father. Then some people definitely don't want that. So I think it can be good and bad. And his is a really good case because his dad is still an active current superstar, right? Like, whereas most of these NFL guys, they've retired, obviously.
Crybaby superstar. No, little LeBron, always crying about something.
I actually like Bronny. He,
I don't know as much about Bronny, but LeBron, big LeBron is a big crybaby.
I came to his defense.
No, Bronny seems he seems chill and level-headed, and he seems to understand his, like, who he is. Like, I don't think he thinks he's better than he is at this point. Like, he just needs time to develop. He might end up being great. We don't know. But that's really hard to have a dad and have to live up to that. Especially when you know the pressure of your dad wanting you to play on his own team in the league together. That's a ton of pressure right there.
Right?
I also love how some people point to him being terrible this past year. But if you look before the year, he had like a serious medical emergency in practice. He had like a heart attack during practice.
Yeah.
And so he came back from that. It's like, why are people... I just don't understand why people have to criticize everyone for one thing. You know, it's just
because that's our society, Matt.
It is. But hating on people that are still effectively children, I got a problem with that. Mm-hmm. I mean, because they're in college and some of them are legally adults, but it just feels wrong. I mean, yes, you can criticize them as players, but creating this level of hate and animosity for any of these college kids to me is weird because, like, we're adults. Like, what are we doing attacking children? It's weird.
Yeah.
Or the fact that most people that are attacking them have never even played a sport. And they're just sitting back right there on their couch, you know, drinking their beer or whatever. And then just like
drinking
they want to be
crappy light beer.
And they want to be a huge, like, you know, they want to critique everybody. And it's like, but you've never even played. Or you did. And you're like the high school person. And it's
you're
like
Al Bundy.
Yes.
Like, even the worst person in any professional sport, I feel like, is still significantly better than I could do in that sport.
Exactly.
So, like,
it's way better than anybody that's on their couch. So.
Right, yeah. Or even in college. I mean, those kids are putting themselves through, like, to get out there and to practice. I mean, even when you are, like, playing a sport, like, you know, in high school, right? If you're you're on a varsity team, it's like you're going 110% all the time. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we see that with our own kids. I mean, this is like in the summer, there's about to be 3 practices a day for water polo. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a weight training and a practice, and then sometimes an extra swim session. So, like, they're doing so much.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I tell my son, like, if you can't run the mile under 5 minutes, you cannot ride home with me. You got to find someone else to No, I do tell him, though, I want to see you throw up at the end. You're not running hard enough. I mean, that's true. I come off the field and you're just like, fine. I'm like, you did not lay it all out there. You need to learn how to.
Like, Bronny being on the same team as his dad, though, I think would be not ideal. Is that,
well, I mean
they're going to treat him differently because nobody wants to upset LeBron. So, like, it just, I don't think that's a good
don't put your kids on the same team. Yeah. Or don't put siblings, right?
But that's what LeBron wants, and that's the problem, is that everyone, and so some teams, you know, why wouldn't you want the the PR and everything that comes with LeBron. But then some teams, I think, are going to be like, God, do we really want to deal with that?
No.
You know, because it's a lot. I mean, he's basically like going to be GM of your team if a new team brings him in. He's going to run everything, I think. So.
Yep.
And I don't personally care.
Because I think also the kid needs to grow up and be on his own, right? And not like follow in his father's footsteps.
Yep.
I mean, and I would think that the child, like, he would want to just like make his own name for himself.
Right.
And if he's with his dad, it's like, then you're just like following those footsteps and you're never going to break out. And that does not do that child any good.
I know. And it's weird because the other day LeBron made a statement that was basically something to the effect of like, he's a kid, just let him play, let him progress and go where he needs to go. But he is the one that created the narrative initially. I want to play on a team with my son. And
I mean, that would actually be kind of cool, though, too, at some point, right?
It is super cool.
I mean,
I understand wanting to do it, but it's just so much pressure for the kid and for another team.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It is. All right, guys, I think we need to wrap it up. So, go Chiefs.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to say the Rams had a great draft.
They did. They did.
They had a great draft. We got some defensive... I don't know. What's a good word? I was going to say genius, but genius isn't the right word. We got those two big boys from Florida State. I'm really excited about them. Jared Verse and Fisk, maybe, is the other guy's name.
I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention.
I'm excited.
Tris, how did your team do, though?
No idea. No idea whatsoever. I can't. It doesn't hold my attention long enough to watch that. So I just went off whatever play-by-play.
Whoever was the first guy Miami drafted, I don't remember who it was, but I just remember he looked so happy. I'm like, he's so stoked. He's going to get to go to Miami. Yeah. He's not going to like Kansas City or Detroit or somewhere with terrible weather. He's like, I'm going to Miami. This is going to be amazing.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to party it up. Miami.
Right?
He might struggle when he goes to KC in that weather and everything, but yeah.
True, right?
Absolutely.
That's the tough part, man. You come down and then you're like, oh crap, I have to go where it's like snowing and
yeah, and I'm all nice and tan sitting out here in the humidity and yeah, nice. So Matt, how did the Niners do? Because I wasn't paying attention to them either.
Well, they started their draft with reaching on someone that no one even had going in the first round, but I trust overall they did all right.
Wait, who do they pick first?
Ricky, I think his name's Ricky Pearsall. He's from Florida.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk was teammates with him for a little bit, but a lot of people are criticizing them for taking that pick because it was such a weird, out of left field pick.
It really is weird. There had to be a reason, but.
Yeah, they're going to move on from one of their wide receivers, I think.
Well, obviously, they were going to pick a receiver, but that they picked him, there was several other people I would have picked first.
Well, there's a couple guys out there, like Brian Baldinger. He is a NFL guy. He really likes this guy. He said he's going to be Julian Edelman plus, so that will be...
That's a fun last name.
Baldinger.
Is he a white guy?
God.
Yes, he's a white guy.
Oh, interesting.
Receiver, like Cooper Kupp? I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, but... You know, I think Lad McConkey is going to be the next Cooper Kupp, though.
That's such a weird name for a football player.
It's such a hillbilly white name, I gotta say.
Lad McConkey.
Right. He's from Georgia. Like, literally, he belongs in the woods with that name. I mean...
Brian Baldinger, though, he played football for so long that his finger is permanently pointing the wrong way because his fingers were just, like, demolished playing professional football.
Oh, jeez. That's what happens.
Anyway.
It's just the cost of that.
The cost of that, yep. I know, right? Playing sports. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got to wrap it up. But that's been a fun episode for this week. I had fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Good time.
Yeah.
Now the draft's over, and now we have the schedule coming out soon. So I guess that's the next big thing on football. And then we have like training camps and blah, blah, blah. And nothing fun until September. So, and we'll have to figure out our fantasy football thing without
yes, Annabelle. That would be fun.
Yes. All right. So you can listen to us at Apple or Spotify, or you can Google us at irrationalmoms.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
And we will be back with more snacks.